Alright, I bought this today. It was pretty cheap. It was like 17 something plus tax. Um, I figured, I figured it wasn't going to be the greatest. And, it's got rough edges. I could smooth these off. I can sharpen the blade up really nice, flatten the back. I could flatten the bottom out nice. And I figured that was what I was going to do, is I was going to clean everything up and make it work nice, even though it wasn't a fancy one to begin with. This is the model here. This is what it came in. So unfortunately, you can't feel it or take it apart and look at it before you buy it, because it's heat sealed shut across the top and on these two dots here. So here's the back, in case you want to see that. It also came with these here instructions there if you want to see any of it. You can pause it and check that out. That's the other page. And the last one. Anyways, they have two different models. And the reason I chose the one I did, which is this one, so two reasons. One of them was more so than the other, but one reason is it's cheaper, but not by a whole lot. I think this one was like 21 something. This one was 17 something. So this is the top one here, as you see. And what this one has is the adjustable mouth. And that, I want that in this type of a plane. I don't have one of these. This is why I bought it. I was going to fix this one up nice, and then I would have a black plane. Currently all I have is jack planes and larger jack planes like joiner planes, stuff like that, and they're nice, but I just wanted this low angle. I don't have any with a low angle like this. So anyways, this one had the mouth opening and the other one doesn't. The other one has a nicer looking wheel setup. It's big knurled steel, although I do like the way brass looks. But anyways, so let's kind of check it out, and I'll show you what I don't like about it, I guess. So, right when I got it, this piece here, this is what your hand's going to be pushing on, right? So, here's how that works. Now, when I first got it, you can see right in here, you can see what you're seeing here is like a wave washer kinda, and that's how the camming assembly tightens it. And then this is like a wide foot, and I'll take it apart so you can see it, but you can see it's all crooked in there. It's fallen in there into the slot here. Like I said, I'm going to take it apart so you can see it all better. But so here's how you get side to side. Here's your in and out adjustment for blade cut depth. This is a camming action for getting. You can tighten this with your fingers and then get enough of a cam action to tighten it right there. You can. And that doesn't feel too bad. I mean, you don't really need your blades to be wildly tight. Why don't we do this first? Here's the mouth opening. So here's how you adjust that, is this tightens it, and when you loosen it, you can adjust this piece. Unfortunately, this is maximum tightness. And I think you might be able to kind of push it, get a little bit more, but there it is right there. That's not adjustable enough. That doesn't even come close to closing down. I'm not really sure how much I could fix that, really. You see there, I guess I would have to see underneath here. I would have to look under there and see if there's much room that I could grind that farther. I could make an entirely new one of these so that it would close farther. But that pops out, so I guess that's the inside of that. I did plane a little bit of wood with it. That's why it's messy. So it's tacked on there like that. This is a piece of steel. This could all be filed and smoothed up. These could be carefully set, smoothed. These are all things. I mean, and I don't mind doing this sort of thing, but that's just one thing of many parts of this that There we go. Whoops. That I have issues with. So here, that moved over a little bit, and now the piece under it is dropped into the slot. That would be this piece here, which is supposed to span over this, but this thing is allowed to move so much that that thing will drop into the slot. It drops halfway into the slot here. Alright, so now that we're in there, this right here is just angled. That's how this adjusts right here. Okay, so it's, I don't know, it works. I'm not super excited about it. So anyways, there's the blade. The blade doesn't look bad. I can't really comment on how hard it is, but it looks decent. I mean, it's not super thin, you know, and it's sitting against this base plate here, which is kind of lumpy, but that could be filed. Of course, if you file it, you're gonna lose even or gain even more of a mouth opening here that you already don't want. But anyways, that could be done. And like I said, this isn't too bad, and it actually did take wood shavings. Not that that matters, because that's the easiest part of the entire thing to fix, is putting a new edge on it. So the next piece down is here. This is just bent stamped steel. If you want to take that off, you just, this screw comes out here, and so there's that. You know, you could clean up edges, you could clean it up in generally, but I'm sure it appears to be chrome plated steel, so you start filing away and smoothing edges, you're going to have rusty spots. Okay, that's that piece. This is kind of where I lost it and decided I don't think I'm going to try and fix this. I mean, I could. I don't know that I want to, though. So alright, here we'll look in here. First I want to show you the backlash, which isn't a big deal. I mean, okay, so down in here, it looks to me like this knob was pressed on here. You can't see anything on the back, so I think it was pressed on. And it looks like it was supposed to be pressed up to here. So even if it was pressed on all the way, you would still have this much backlash. But since it wasn't pressed on all the way, you have backlash all the way back here to the knob, and then all the way forward. Additionally, this is where it's supposed to sit down inside of these grooves here. There and here. And it can't. That's literally as close as it will get to sitting in the groove. It's either there and it won't fit into this side, or you can get this side in and it's all the way over here on that side. That's it. And I'm wondering, this doesn't look like it's off center. The cut in this piece here, it looks right in the middle. So I was curious what the heck was going on here. And you can see, I'll try to hold this at a perfect 90 degree. You can see how angled this screw is. This should be straight like this. It's angled. It's way off. You can stick a tap in there and you can force the tap sideways while you run the tap in, and you'll straighten it out, but then it's just going to be super sloppy threads, you know. And usually when they get that sloppy, they start to bind when you have any force applied to them. So really, I mean, honestly, the only option here is to drill this out bigger. Well, I guess there's a couple options that I was thinking about. You could drill this out bigger so that it's straight, and then hammer this knob off of this bolt. And then I just use like a drill and a grinder, or a drill and my belt sander to kind of lathe things down. And I could just try to make a new bolt assembly homemade. Alternatively, you could drill it out and put a threaded insert in there that's straight, that fits this thread. But that's a lot of work to do to a brand new plane. And there's no other way of doing this. If you make that wide enough for that to fit in there properly, it would just be all sloppy as well. And if you take the bolt out, let's say the threads were put in there straight, it's still not super tight in there. So anyways, another alternative would be to make your own piece, which, you shouldn't have to do that, but you could make one of these that fits in here nice and tight. So, the instructions always say not to return the item. You're supposed to, here it says her somewhere down here. Yeah, here we are. Questions, problems, missing parts? Before returning to your retailer, call our customer service department. So I might try that tomorrow during their business hours and see what they have to say. Anyways, I'll let you know what I find out later on. Later.